I bought a company called All Caribbean Wrestling, and like I never got to call shots before, and it's like the funnest thing in the world. Like to be able to help write the program and work with a good team of people that want to see the company do well, and we're getting now to the point to where we getting sponsors that could pay people more money. So it's like, man, this has been the biggest dream that happened since having wanted to have kids.
Did you so? I mean, we know you grew up in Silsbee. Your dad, he was a cattle rancher, right?
No, my dad was a musician. My dad played backup guitar for B.B. King for a little while, but he was a gambler and a drinker, and he just messed his life up.
And then your mom, I mean, she worked several jobs. She had no
Cleaning
quit in
houses.
her. Yeah.
Like cooking, like she was a famous cook in East Texas.
Older brother, Pat, right?
Yeah.
How much older was he?
He's 2 years older.
2 years.
He just went in the Wall of Fame at our high school. He was on that wrecking crew defense at Texas A&M. They was the #1 defense for 28 years.
I mean, so
years.
it is in the blood because you had
a
great uncle.
We have 5 Super Bowls winners in our family.
That's not normal.
And 2 Olympians. I'm one of the 2 Olympians.
Who's the other one?
Jana's dad.
Oh, I knew
was
that. The
the
boxing.
alternate in
Yeah.
boxing.
Yeah. Didn't you have like a great uncle,
Chud Adams.
Yeah. That he kind of started like the whole. I mean,
he wasn't an athlete because that was just a hair out of slavery.
But he was strong. Like the whole town
he
knew.
He was famous in East Texas. Like he used to pull logs out of the woods. He never had a pair of shoes. Used to wear moccasins or go barefoot all the time. And my grandmother used to say all the time, "Oh, Mark is like my favorite cousin Chud, like just smaller."
Just smaller.
He was like 6'7". And my Uncle
big.
DeWitt, my grandmother's other cousin, I remember as a kid, like I was probably 10, but I was 200 pounds minimum at that age. And when we used to go to Jasper, Texas, to his house, he would pick us up and
throw you.
Never in my life, there's nobody ever since used to pick us up as a kid, so I started doing that. So when I see Kaya, I always throw it. Yes. That's my Uncle DeWitt. He used to, he picked us up and put us on a tractor. Like, you don't have no leverage if you was up on a tractor and you reach down and pick somebody up. We was 200 pounds.
Pure strength.
Man, he was crazy strong. Crazy strong.
So I want to get back to like your dream of that, but Jacob did that to me a couple years ago. I'm not used to getting tossed either. And he was at the school, and I came up behind him. He goes, and he picked me up and slung me around. I was like, wee, like a little kid. I was like, that was fun. But did you want to wrestle as a kid?
I didn't know I could.
Didn't know that was even a possibility.
Like I was it was all football until I saw Vasily Alexiev and then fell in love with lifting and realized that, there's professional lifting. Like you could be lift stuff and get famous.
Yeah.
Like that became my thing. But man, like my grandmother was the big when she died. We had to go through all her stuff. We cleaning out stuff. She had all these photo albums, wrestling bills, called autograph photos, Ernie Ladd, autograph for Jose Lothario, autograph. Man, she had everything.
Wow.
And one of the things in her deal was autograph paper like that for me.
And you never knew she had these things.
I didn't know what happened to it, but Jose Lothario signed autograph for me, and it had blood on the paper because his head was bleeding. He was doing like this, and blood was on it, and my grandmother still had it.
This give me chills.
Yeah.
Wow.
She kept it all them years.
Dang.
Man,
You still have it?
yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Your love of wrestling runs deep, man. I mean, because you're still. I mean, you're still involved in.
I watch 14 hours of wrestling a week.
Holy moly.
I do 2 shows, Busted Open, Off the Ropes, 3 days a week. So altogether, I do like 18 hours of wrestling a week.
In that 18 hours, anybody that you'd put up against the nation or the ministry? Oh, wait.
The
Whoa.
ministry?
Or how about this, nation versus ministry? Which,
That would be hard. Like I thought DX was hard. DX and the ministry, like me and D-Lo would have killed Mitty in Big House. We'd have destroyed them. Ron Simmons
oof.
and Rock and Godfather.
Wait a minute. I get claim on Ron first.
I was about to say, who get...
Ron and John were with me before they were in the nation.
Then they can't be in. We can't even do that because,
But you can't take claim on the... I mean, we going straight nation versus...
So it would if Ron couldn't be
first.
in it, we can't do it because he was a heavy hitter.
I think Ron can be in it, yeah. Why couldn't Ron be in it? I mean,
because it would be Ron or Rock were the 2 principals. Dead was the principal, so he would go against Rock or Ron, and then the second guys, it'd been the nation. We'd have had to drug him. Dead would have beat Rock,
Oh, yeah.
and he would have beat Ron, and me and D-Lo and Godfather, we would have beat everybody else in the ministry.
With one hand.
That's good booking, sounds like to
I
me.
know, I'm thinking, this could
It's a
be
good
interesting.
trade-off. I mean, you can't have everybody do the
No,
job.
right? Not everybody. Everybody can. I like that.
That's why I had all those guys.
Brian Lee,
Do all
come
the
on,
work.
man. You're going to put Brian Lee
Dude,
against Ron Simmons.
he was not in my ministry.
Oh,
Okay, who all
All
was
right,
in
so
there?
all right, check it out. So I had Ron and John, I had Midian, and I had Viscera. I think that was it.
Yeah, me, D-Lo, and Godfather was job them.
Yeah. That's,
Trying to think who, but
I got to look back. Wait.
you and
Dude,
Ron and John, you Ron and John. That's we had to put Ron against himself. This is fantasy warfare.
Damn.
Ron would have to wrestle himself. I would have to wrestle Viscera.
Ron would have to wrestle himself.
And Godfather would have to wrestle Bradshaw or John.
Oof.
And Rock would have to go against Dead.
Some taters thrown in that
Which one? And
bunch of them.
D-Lo would have been standing there going,